You're listening to the Overcast, your joke-making, fun-having pop culture podcast, brought to you by Oversoul Gaming. Hello there, everyone, and welcome to the Overcast. I'm Justin.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Berksy.
And together, we're bringing you sunshine on a cloudy day. Yes. As the intro says, your fun-having, joke-making pop culture podcast, or whatever order I say it in. But, the emphasis must always be brought that this is a pop culture comedy podcast. We are entertaining before we are informative. However,
Yes.
we do take this shit seriously when we need to.
Absolutely.
That's why you get a mixture of, like, sometimes we're doing goofy-ass game show shit, and other times we're having very serious discussions about the deeper meanings of certain movies and whatnot, you know? Like, you get the best of both worlds around this joint. So, some of you might say, pick a lane and stick with that. And I say to that,
No.
Phooey. No, yeah, basically. Poo on you for suggesting such hogwashery. Anyways. Though, I want to give a special shout out to one of our listeners. Wow, there I am with the. I think I might be gaining a lisp.
Words are hard.
Yes. One of our listeners, Gracious Rhino, because it's his birthday sometime soon. I'm not exactly sure when, but I know, like, he said something in a chat I'm in about his wife getting him a Lego Game Boy thing for his early birthday
that's
gift.
so cool.
Nice.
So yeah, that is cool. So congrats on that, and happy birthday to you. Thanks for being an active listener, even if you don't quite enjoy every episode. He is the one that told me that. So he listened to our impressions episode and said, although that's not normally his type of humor, that I should be doing voice acting. I'm good at voices, and I appreciated that compliment. Notice he didn't say good at impressions. He just said good at voices. So, I take that for what it is. But I like to think some of those impressions were spot on. But what do I know? I wasn't listening to myself. Honestly, though, I think Nick absolutely takes the cake out of that whole thing for his Gollum impression. That has got to be the most spot-on goddamn impression out of any of them throughout the whole thing.
That was a fun episode
quite
to
frankly,
go back and listen to, too. I had a hard time composing myself while I was at work.
Yeah, no, I was fucking in tears from laughter listening to that.
Speak for yourself. I re-listened to it and I'm like, oh no. It's worse than I thought it was.
That's just because all of your impressions are literally just you. Like, you didn't change your voice at all.
I don't know how to. I don't know how to, and I'm so sorry.
But that made it funny. That made it even funnier, honestly. Nothing. Yeah, but still, though, some great moments from that'll be going in the next reactions and highlights for goddamn sure. That's any part where we laugh for like 5 minutes straight is definitely going in there. But all that being said, the previous episode was just me and Brooksy, and we did an old shoot the shit episode. We basically did a What Culture Gaming style episode where we just vamped about random media and what we've been up to lately. And that's what we're going to be doing again, but this time there will be a slight more focus, but it's still going to be a one-take improvisational anything goes type episode where we're just going to shoot the shit and talk about what we've been up to, what we've been watching, playing, yada yada, what's going on. And then, but also though, there's been some interesting things that have happened in the gaming industry since we last did an episode. Not just
Oh boy, yeah.
not just the episode with not just the last time it was the three of us, but even the last episode with just me and Brooksy. So I do want to tackle some of that first, and I think we might go a little. I think we might flip flop it a bit. I think we'll talk about this, then we'll talk about some unrelated personal stuff, then we'll talk about the next big thing, and then we'll go back and forth.
Yeah.
So I want to start though with the latest PlayStation State of Play. Did you both catch this?
Oh. Are you
Yes.
kidding me? How could I not?
Okay.
Now,
I'm just
I
gonna
don't-
go out here on a limb and say that all three of us probably have the same highlight from this, and I'm gonna go ahead and guess it's the Wolverine game.
Yes.
oh, without a doubt, I mean, I was getting to a point where I was afraid that they were never going to actually release it because of those leaks that happened, what, 2 years
Yeah.
ago?
I could not be more happy with what we were shown. This looks exactly like that X-Men Origins Wolverine game I played a while back, but better.
Mhm.
And I'm here for it. Like, I'm glad that even though it's Insomniac and this is in apparently the same universe as the Spider-Man games, they're not backing down from the violence and the gore. You know,
Yeah,
that's
like,
good.
Watching him use his claws to just go straight through someone's skull, I was like, oh, we're not playing around on this. Okay.
Hell yeah,
Oh,
that was beautiful.
hell yeah, brother. Like that is what I want to see in a Wolverine game. Like I'm so hyped about it.
And it looks like we're getting. Oh, go ahead, Nick.
I really hope that Wade Wilson makes a cameo in this game.
Oh, you're getting ahead of me because I was actually going to ask if we think there's going to be a Deadpool cameo in this or not, or if you think that would be if it would feel too forced, maybe, you know, like they're checking a box.
Yeah.
I think it's only fair because Wolverine made an appearance in the Deadpool game.
True, but that wasn't an Insomniac game.
Yeah.
Insomniac is
True.
very like you've played the Spider-Man games, and they're pretty good at keeping things in universe. You know how like the Spider-Man 2 had a Doctor Strange-esque portal side quest, but there was no actual Doctor Strange. It was just one of his relics. Or like you can see Avengers Tower, but you never see any of the Avengers.
Mhm.
They do really good, I think, at keeping it grounded within the universe and not like not over relying on gratuitous cameos to lift it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like they're more Easter eggs than they are crossovers.
Yeah.
So
You know.
what I think is going to happen is I don't think there's going to be a direct cameo from Deadpool himself because you got to think like, Insomniac is a bigger company. They're in partnership with Sony, but like for each character you have, there's like a separate license per character you have to pay for. And just for a cameo, like that's a lot of money. So what I think they're gonna do instead is there's gonna be just like kind of like some random subtle reference, like maybe a couple times where he's talking to like an NPC and he was like, oh yeah, that reminds me of this like red asshole that won't die that I know of, and like it's like, talk about Deadpool. Like that's how I think they're gonna incorporate the bromance that is Wolverine and Deadpool without like having a full cameo. That's what I'm assuming, but again, could very well be wrong.
That would be nice.
Yeah, and also I think there's licensing issues with Deadpool as far as video games right now because you can't get the Deadpool game digitally anymore. It got taken down from the storefronts because of some licensing issue with it. So good thing I still have a physical copy on the PS3. But yeah, I was gonna say too. I think one of the other things I noticed from the trailer that I really like is that this appears to be a bit into a well-established I've been Wolverine for a while now career. It's not like an origin story. It's like much like they did with Spider-Man. That kind of kicks off well into his time. Into his superhero career already, and I appreciate that. Plus, it looks like it's pretty clear to me from the trailer that both Sabretooth and Mystique are going to be in this, which is pretty cool.
Hell yeah!
And I'm wondering, I'm hoping I'm not even wondering, like I'm genuinely hoping that there's going to be there's going to be a moment where we actually play as Mystique, kind of like Mary Jane style.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. Either that or like even maybe like kind of like The Last of Us Part 2 where you end up playing against like low key your antagonist kind of and play as Sabretooth for a little bit.
I think I would like playing as Mystique more, if I'm being honest, because I think
absolutely, but
I think because Mystique, with Mystique, they could do better versions of MJ's stealth missions, because it would basically be like a Hitman-esque side quest, because she can disguise herself as anyone, sneak up behind them, and then break their neck, type
true.
shit. Like,
But I
would love that.
I agree, but honestly, playing a Sabretooth would also be cool because it's essentially just like an oversized version of Wolverine, and you got to look back at Spider-Man 2. Venom is kind of like an oversized version of Spider-Man, so I could also kind of see that playing out as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too. All I know is that trailer looks so goddamn good. I mean, that's gonna be so fun. Like the combat. Honestly, that trailer was the most standout thing from that show. That outside of that and the opening, I don't even remember half the shit they showed in between that and the first thing.
Oh, see,
to be completely honest with you.
See, that's honestly, it's crazy. Is even though I like Wolverine was by far like kind of the biggest surprise. Like I really just didn't think they were actually going to announce it, let alone at a state of play. Like I thought that was going to be like a Game Awards kind of an announcement. But no, it kind of rivals with, for me personally, even though they've already announced the game, kind of like Wolverine, finally getting a release date for Crimson Desert after having the original trailer, like, what, years ago?
Right. Yep, that was in there.
Yeah, like, I'm a big RPG sucker. I think everybody kind of knows that about me, and I love me some good dragons and stuff like that. And this game looks so ambitious, and it's kind of like it's from a smaller studio and everything, so it feels like it could be another KCD 2 or Expedition 33 kind of like, holy crap, where did this game come from story. I'm so hyped. March is going to be so awesome next year. And as soon as that game comes out, I know that my life is gone as soon as it comes out.
That does look interesting. I do have the PlayStation blog open now with the announcements they had, and Crimson Desert says, embark on an open-world action-adventure March 19th next year when Crimson Desert launches on PS5. To mark the release date news, Pearl Abyss unveiled a brand new trailer focused on the story and events that will propel you across the vast continent of Pywell. So, looking back on this list, I actually do remember a couple things that I remember now grabbed my interest. Chronoscript: The Endless End was one of them. That side scroller that's all pencil sketch drawings. That looked really interesting to me. I noticed that they gave a release date for Code Vein 2, the anime Souls-like. They're remastering the original Deus Ex game from the PS2 era, which is one of the games that pioneered the whole choices matter thing in gaming, which is pretty cool. Deus Ex been going for a while, and Dynasty Warriors 3 is getting remastered. There's a God of War Anniversary controller coming.
Yes, that's such a good-looking controller.
Makes me curious to see. It makes me think, like, I know it's a 20th anniversary for it, but at the same time, Santa Barbara's they've been quiet for a while since the DLC for Ragnarok came out.
True. I'm also fully expecting Insomniac to put out a Wolverine controller to go along with the game.
That's the thing, is like I was talking with one of my buddies, and we're both speculating, like, with Insomniac, they did a PS4 for Spider-Man, and they did a PS5 for Spider-Man 2, so I'm like, everyone's hyped about Wolverine. I would be shocked if they did not do a Wolverine PS5 Pro or whatever. I just really hope that if they do that, they sell the controller separately. That's the only thing I really care about, is I want that controller if they have one.
Yeah, I'm picturing like a blue and yellow one with a claw mark down the side of it or something.
Yeah, because, like, have you seen the Ghost of Yote one?
Yes.
Yeah, like that, where it has grooves in it from, like, her katana, like, hitting the controller, like there's slashes across it, and I could see, like, cool. Just like right across, like, the middle, like the touchpad part of it, just like the 3 slashes across it. I think would look so sick.
I'm gonna make another assumption here, and I'm gonna say, Nick, I think one of the other things that probably grabbed you was the Halloween video game, the asymmetrical multiplayer horror game where you can play as Mike Myers or a survivor.
Oh yes, dude.
Which is it's basically Dead by Daylight, but exclusively Halloween. Like,
dude. Yes.
and
I am so fucking hyped
I
for this.
I gotta be honest, one of my favorite things about that is I love how cheeky it is that they're doing the whole killer just pops up out of nowhere shit, and they're making it an actual, like, gameplay feature where Mike Myers can just kind of, like, turn invisible and teleport wherever he wants and just show up in the most inconvenient locations like he does in the
That
movies.
would make for such a fun Let's Play.
I think that's fucking genius that they did that. And I was like, I remember my mom was watching that, and she was like, that seems a little unfair. And I'm like, well, it's 4-on-1. They got to give the killer some advantage. Like, what are you talking about? Like, let's see. Let It Die, yada yada, the thing. Microsoft Flight Simulator coming to a Sony platform. What timeline are we living in? Yes, Neo 3, Brooksy.
So
another.
so here's the thing, and I feel bad. Like, I'm not an actual Souls player or something like that. I have only played Neo. I have not played Neo 2. But what that gives me essentially is it gives me a deadline to play through Neo 2 before Neo 3 comes out.
I will be
Fair
honest. I will say, those speakers they showed off actually seem kind of cool. I kind of want to pair those speakers. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, if it wasn't for this behemoth of a monitor that my dad got me for my birthday and all of that, I saw those. I was like, not gonna lie, those look pretty sick. Like, do I need it? No, but is it pretty sick? Like, yeah, because I mean, I'm pretty much like it's either my Steam Deck or the PS5. Like, and I play them on PS5 way more than anything else.
Fair enough. Now, Brooksy, as a fan of Returnal, I have to ask you, how do you feel about Soros, the first game they showed off?
It looks cool. It looks cool, and I really love this dev team because of just the amount of detail they go into their graphics itself. Like, up until Death Stranding 2 came out, Returnal was the first game that I had popped in and played and thought to myself, oh, this is a next gen game. Like, this looks like a next gen game. This feels like a next gen game. So I'm excited to see what Soros kind of really comes out with. It looks like it's kind of like it seems like there's more loops in the game than what I traditionally really like, kind of like what Returnal was. And that was really my only drawback, is like games like Destiny, where it's just like, or Returnal, where it's a lot of similar things repeatedly. Like, it loses its effect for me, but it looks like there's enough different things about it that it feels like it could be fresh. I kind of want to wait closer to the release date to see more trailers, see more gameplay before I fully dive in. But I was really impressed by the first look at gameplay that we got.
It's more or less just Returnal with a shield, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
But, like, it does seem like the way that they described it, death isn't as punishing in this game, which I think they're doing to appeal to a wider audience. It seems like death is an intended part of the experience here.
Yeah, like, you kind of are supposed to die in it from what it looks like, and as soon as you die, like, you automatically get a revive, and when you revive, you come back like in like almost like a berserker mode, where you're a lot stronger, your weapons do more damage, like you've got better defense, but when you die, you like die. So I'm like, I don't know, it looks cool. I want to see they'll do another trailer before it releases. They'll do another They'll do another gameplay demonstration, and there'll probably be some like hands-on previews. And I want to kind of look at that before I fully dive in.
Absolutely fair. We also had Zero Parades for Dead Spies, which is a game not made exactly by the same developers. There was a whole, I don't remember all the details, but there was a whole mismatch of different, issues with leadership and this, that, and the other thing that happened with these teams. But some of the people who worked on Disco Elysium also made this game, and it looks pretty
cool.
interesting. I'm not gonna Well, I mean, and you can tell just by fucking looking at it. The design is pretty much the exact same. Like graphically, it's the
Yeah.
exact same game. But I like the concept there. And I like that they're basically carrying over a lot of the things. Also, Mega Man DLC for Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, which, from what I played of the demo, pretty fucking solid racing game. Honestly, that's one that I'll probably grab while it's on sale. But I was impressed by the demo. I love how basically the third lap of every race just takes you into another universe, and I was like, oh, they're doing the Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart thing, but with cars and racing, and it's like. And now I see why it's called Cross Worlds, and I was like, all right, this is dope. I'm into
Hell
it. I
yeah.
like this. It's like Crash Team Racing on acid. Yeah, Nick, do yourself a favor and play the Sonic Team Cross Worlds demo. It's so good.
It is
such
a lot
great
of fun.
demo.
And then honestly, I was surprised at how decently it ran on the Steam Deck, just given the fact that it's a new game and its graphics are pretty intense for something like a Steam Deck, but it ran like super super well.
A lot of great demos coming out lately. Actually, there was a demo for Dead Reset, and I really enjoyed the full game.
Dead
There's a
Reset
demo
was
for
so
Sonic Racing
good.
Cross Worlds, and a demo for Little Nightmares 3.
Nice.
Oh, there's a demo. Oh, that's right. You did tell me that. I need to download that.
Yes, please, for the love of God, play that demo, Brooksy. It's so
Yes,
good.
I will play that demo. I will as soon as we're done recording today. I'm gonna go grab the Steam Deck and download it on there.
Oh, is it on there too? I thought okay. I downloaded it on PlayStation, but yeah. I know it's available more places. But okay. And yeah, I guess as far did you guys have anything else on State of Play? Oh, actually, I think there actually is two more things. First of all, now Alan Wake 2 is a fucking great grab for PlayStation Plus. If anyone doesn't have that, definitely grab that. But also, since Goat Simulator 3 is going to be on there, once PlayStation Plus changes this coming Tuesday, Goat Sim 3, Alan Wake 2, and Cocoon will all be on there for Essentials tier. Brooksy, me and Nick already have that, but if you go ahead and grab it too, add it to your library, then I vow here and now that the three of us will do a podcast episode while playing Goat Simulator 3 at some point.
I'm super down.
Yes.
I'm super down.
Fuck yes.
So
And I'll
yes,
even
and
make
we're gonna try to do like a genuine, serious episode while playing the game at the same time. It's gonna be great.
I love it. No, I'm definitely down for that.
Episode, that's going to be one of those episodes that's going to be kind of like not as fun for the listeners, but for the people who watch on YouTube, it'll be a blast. So, like,
but there is one PlayStation related thing I do want to bring up.
it's Battlefield 6, right?
It was. You caught me. It was
Yeah.
Battlefield 6. You got me. No, it's not Battlefield 6. It looks very very cool. I am just not, traditionally speaking, a big FPS person, and it definitely looks better than any COD I've seen in the past several years. But again, I just, shooter games have really just never been my thing. If you want to talk about that, yeah, let's do it. But there is something I do want to tell you guys real quick.
That was a dope ass trailer.
It was a dope trailer. And I also really like the dig that Battlefield made towards Call of Duty by blowing up the stars right at the beginning. Like, who are those guys? Oh, I don't know. Let's just keep going.
Now, what is this you have to tell us? You say?
Oh, so I figured, since we were already talking about PlayStation related things, and I'm sure it'll probably get brought up at some point today, but as of this recording, I think everybody knows that the long-awaited Ghost of Yotei finally just came out, right?
Yeah, about 2 days ago.
Yeah. So I was talking with my wife, and one of her coworkers, who is one of her besties at work, her husband works for Sony, and was talking with him, talking about podcasts, and how excited we are. We're all big PlayStation people and everything else, and through him, and I really want to say how much I appreciate Jeremy very, very, very much for this. I wanted to surprise y'all with letting you know that once we're done with recording this, I'm going to be shooting each of y'all a text of a digital code for Ghost of Yotei, because I know how much I wanted to play it, how much y'all wanted to play it.
Oh man,
And I don't know, like,
hell yeah.
I've really loved being a part of this podcast, and like I haven't gotten to do like a random cool surprise thing, and I just wanted to do a cool
Fuck
surprise
yeah.
Well,
Hell
holy
yeah.
shit! what a generous offer.
thing. Yeah,
Hell
no, I mean,
yeah.
no.
I need to
listen,
finish. I need to finish Ghost of Tsushima before I dive into Yotei.
No, I know.
Honestly, if you had listened to Nick at the beginning of this podcast, you would have never in a million years guessed he would genuinely enjoy Ghost of Tsushima. He was so he was so against playing almost anything that took place in Japan, quite frankly, for some reason. But
Well, you can skip
like,
Rise of the Ronin, but nah, dude, Tsushima like that, dude. I know you've been playing through it. I know you've been enjoying it. And I'm like, he'll get to it. Justin, I know you and I have talked about Yotei a lot because I actually finally got to play Tsushima earlier this year, and I'm like, I can't believe I sat on this for as long as I did. Like, holy crap, what a magnificent game. No, I just like I will apologize because of like logistics and everything. Did a digital code instead of a physical copy because I know Justin, you like physical media like myself, but man, I just like there's so many games that are coming out, and at $70 a pop, man, it gets hard to keep up to date with everything.
right, like I didn't have to spend $70, so I'll take the digital. Fuck it. You know,
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's
Is
the
like
payoff.
yeah, but that's the thing. I had a really cool, unique opportunity come up, and I wanted to go for it. So, and I wanna share it with the people that I know will really appreciate it.
Right. In regards to Yotei, though, we'll probably have to do a spoiler cast or something down the line. I haven't finished Tsushima, but I know how it ends, so I'm okay with jumping straight into Yotei because it's like 300 years in the future, so it's not like it's a direct sequel, anyways. You know.
Yeah, it from what I'm to understand, there's like there really isn't any relation to like to Jinsekai's story to our new protagonist story.
Yeah, this is more like a Final Fantasy or Assassin's Creed thing where we're just jumping to a new person and a new timeline.
Yeah, same universe, totally different story, totally different people, don't even know each other kind of deal.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you and to your friend for the codes. Absolutely. Like.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like it was, again, I had the opportunity, and I wanted to be able to take it and be able to share it with the people that I care about.
Well, before we move on to the next rage-inducing pieces of news, I want to hear from Nick because he hasn't been here in a couple weeks. He missed last episode, and in our time with how our recording schedule works, that's basically like a month. So
Yeah.
So Nick, what have you been up to lately? Playing, watching,
Oh
doing?
man. So, let's see.
And what's new and whatnot?
Sarah and I went to go see this movie, A Big Bold Beautiful Journey.
Oh, I've been wanting to see that.
It was so good. Definitely a great couples movie.
Okay.
Um,
Because it's the one with Margot Robbie and all of that, right?
Margot Robbie and oh fuck, I'm gonna kick myself.
Yeah, I don't remember the dude's name
Colin
either, so
Farrell.
that's why I said Margot. Oh, okay.
Colin Farrell, yeah. It was really fucking good. So to let me pull it up here.
While you're looking that up, it's funny you mentioned Colin Farrell because while I was playing Mafia: The Old Country the other day, I was just thinking, Colin Farrell would be great in this game because Cesare basically looks like him. Like Cesare basically looks like Colin Farrell, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. You're not wrong on that.
So the plot is two strangers who meet at a mutual friend's wedding have the chance to relive important moments from their past, illuminating the path that led them to the present and gaining the opportunity to change their futures.
Huh.
Dude,
Okay.
so okay, this isn't spoilery or anything, but because it's in the trailer, essentially they go through this door in the middle of nowhere, and it takes them to a moment in either Margot's past or Colin's past. And
Cool.
it's really fucking cool. And they go through multiple doors. It's got a lot of it hits a lot of deep places. It's a deep movie. I looked over at Sarah and saw some tears falling down her face.
I've been known to cry during some sad parts of movies, so I'm sure it would get to me.
Yes. Let's see.
Do you want to slap a rating on that?
9 out of 10.
Okay.
Okay.
It was good. It's for a good romance drama. It was really fucking good.
A rom-drom.
Yeah, that.
By the way, I've decided to put my foot down when it comes to the whole spoilers thing on this show. I'm very loose about what we consider spoilers, and some people are just gonna have to fucking learn to live with that, because no one can ever talk about anything if everything's a spoiler.
Right, exactly.
It's kind of... And so here's how I feel, right? Saying that Bruce Willis is dead at the end of Sixth Sense is a spoiler, okay?
Did
That
you also
obviously...
jizz in your pants? Like,
yeah, I understand that reference.
Yes, me too.
But saying that is a spoiler. The Titanic sinks. You know what I mean? Like, I'm being facetious now,
right?
But anyways, but you get what I'm saying. However, saying something like Silent Hill F has a part where there are things that move when you're not looking at it. Not a spoiler. I feel like I have to bring that up to give it compliments if I'm, when I talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't think... I'm not considering shit like that. I'm not considering context-based stuff spoilers. But giving away plot twists, giving away important, story beats, giving away surprises, that's a spoiler. But giving the back-of-the-box synopsis or the elevator pitch is not a spoiler.
No.
We are... Yeah. In order to be able to talk about things, podcasts have to be a little more loose about what is and isn't spoilers.
Yeah.
But whenever I'm ready to go full ass spoilers, I will say it. Like, I did a spoiler alert for Kingdom Hearts 3 in the last episode. So,
fair enough.
Because what I said was a fucking spoiler.
Yeah, what I said. Well, I mean, I talked about Xehanort and Xehanort, so technically also a spoiler.
You talked about what?
Xehanort and Xehanort.
Oh, yeah. But anyways, though, okay. What else you been up to, Nick?
So Sarah went out on a girls' night with her friend April, and Sarah's friend, well, he's my friend now too. Tanner and I went to go see the new sports horror movie Him with Marlon Wayans.
Oh shit! Okay.
Okay. Brooksy, you and I already talked about this.
I know. It broke my heart, man.
Dude.
You know what though? I was expecting something. You know what? even Dead Meat was disappointed in this one a bit.
Dude,
So
I listened to their rapid fire movie review episode of their podcast.
and you had the same thoughts as them, huh?
It's so hard to follow sometimes, and it's hard to see Marlon Wayans in a serious, sinister role like this when I'm used to seeing him in a comedy.
I mean, fair, but also I thought the number 23 with Jim Carrey was pretty decent.
He must be a method actor, because
I haven't seen this, so I haven't seen this, so I can't say anything.
he must be a method actor, because this movie it got into how dark things can get, how not sinister, but how heavy things can get for the quarterback of a football team. You're essentially carrying the weight of the team on your shoulders, and you got to be willing to sacrifice things in order to make it.
I mean, for
it
so
was
for me, because like
hard.
a big reason. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
It was so hard to follow.
So, for me, watching the trailer, and I don't think I've really talked a lot about this on the podcast or anything like that. I know everyone knows I'm from Texas, but I don't really talk about the fact that I played football for over a decade. I started playing when I was 6 years old, and I played up until I was 17. And everybody knows how big Texas football is, and it's a very true and very intense culture. I have friends that went off to play college ball. I have friends that went off to go play in the NFL for the Bengals and for the Patriots. There is a very unhealthy culture around being the best and doing anything possible and sacrificing yourself to be the very best. Sacrificing everything. Family, loved ones, girlfriend, doesn't matter. What is the most important thing to you? It's winning. And that notion, and what I've heard from reviews from people that like have family that have been a part of football for 20 plus years, are like, they couldn't have hit it on the nose looking at things like the NFL Combine and things of that nature. And that's a world that I used to be very deeply integrated in. And so me seeing different parts of like the trailer and hearing reviews, I'm like, I feel like this may be one of those movies that's not for everyone, but for the target audience, this movie is going to be like really awesome. Which is why, despite the negative reviews that this movie has gotten, I still really want to see this movie.
It'll hit more. It'll hit
Fair
home
enough.
for you more, for sure.
Yeah.
I also want to see it too, just because it seems like I like, considering I'm a big fan of things like Metal Gear Solid, Death Stranding, Resident Evil, Kingdom Hearts. Clearly, I'm a fan of convoluted nonsense.
Yeah.
And I like confusing, hard to follow shit. And I just feel like, I don't know, this might be one of those elevated horror movies, as they call them. So I want to see it anyways, just because I like the sinister tone of the trailer. I like how it looks like it gets pretty fucked up.
It does get fucked up.
I'm curious. I'm very curious about it.
This is gonna be a harsh rating for me.
About goddamn time, honestly. I'm really...
I'm gonna say 6.5.
You heard it here first, folks. You heard it
I was
first.
thinking 6. You know what, though? That's still not his lowest rating. What was it you gave that horrible Megamind TV show spin-off? Like a 4?
4, yes.
All
Or
I'm
was it a
saying,
2?
I was
I think
not.
he
I was
gave
not
it a 2.
nice.
Honestly, I think he gave it a 2 out of 10, which is the lowest rating on the entire podcast.
I'm just saying.
I was not nice.
I gave that fucking horrible Gollum game a 4. I was more generous to that game, giving it a 4 out of 10 than Nick is when he gives a 10 out of 10 to a clear 7.
I forgot.
Like,
I forgot to tell you, Justin. That game was on sale on Xbox like 2-3 months ago. Gollum, and it was. I always told Sam that if that game was ever less than $5, I'm gonna buy it because I have to know. I have to know for myself. And it was on sale for $3.99 earlier this year, and I was like, oh, it's my time. And I got maybe 3 hours into it, and I'm like, dude, I can't do this. This really is that bad. Holy crap.
That's about as far as I got before I finally gave up. I was like, I saw the potential. There's the foundation in there of what could have been a good game, and in the beginning, it's playable at best, but then it just goes downhill so fast, and the bar is already very low to begin with. I just couldn't force myself to sit through the whole thing. There's no way.
No, I 4 out of 10, dude. That's generous. I personally would give it at 2.5. It boots up and you can technically move the character. That's about as far as it goes. Like,
well, then I have to admit there's a teensy bit of bias in there because I like stealth. And that's where I saw the foundations of what could have been something.
Yeah, the foundations for a serviceable PlayStation 2 game, I guess. Like,
But okay, for all intents and purposes, though, South of Midnight is basically a serviceable PlayStation 3 game, and we loved it.
Well, that's because they at least polished it, and the story was worth something.
That's true.
Not Gollum. Oh my God, the story was
just
bad.
saying,
the voice acting bad.
Gollum could have been good. It's not, but it could have been. It's not like it was a lost cause. There is the blueprints of something that could have been in there.
Honestly,
if you look hard enough.
I remember when they made the announcement for it, I was like, I don't even know how they would even make a game around Gollum unless it was like a stealth game, which is what it turned out to be. And I'm like, it has the potential if it wasn't that. Like, if it wasn't whatever the hell they actually made.
Fair.
Yeah,
fair.
I'm firm on that 2.5.
How did we get here? Nick, what did you think of Weapons? I want to know.
Weapons?
Did you like it?
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
It was all over the place. I don't know how I felt about it. It was interesting. After watching it, I did listen to Dead Meat's review on it.
Yeah, listening to them talk about it did make me like it more, especially now that I realize it's from the guy who did Barbarian.
Yes.
That same kind of tonal whiplash happens in Barbarian about halfway through the movie, but in this movie, in Weapons, they do that old switcheroo like 3 or 4 different times.
Yeah, they do, and it's so fucking annoying.
Listen, I'm still excited to go see it. I love convoluted movies.
That's not the part I don't like. So the vignette thing where you see the movie through the perspective of 5 different characters, I actually like that part. That's cool. That reminds me of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep.
Okay.
And
Fair enough.
Like, that's actually a really cool, clever way to do a movie, to see the same scenes from different perspectives and slowly be drip fed revelation after revelation, plot twist after plot twist, to, like, because it's not even until you're following the junkie that you really understand what's going on, and then when you start when you start following the kid, that's when everything comes into place, and that
okay.
But like when you're following the teacher has some of the best creepy moments in the movie, that's when it's mostly horror. But then when you start following the angry dad, it kind of has like a tone shift. And there's a tone shift for each character swap, and each time it feels like not a different movie, but like a different genre of movie with each character swap. which is obviously intentional. It's still a horror movie at its core, but it's a very cartoony horror movie.
I mean, Sam and I are going to be watching it like outside of me grabbing my Steam Deck. We're going to be watching Weapons as soon as we're finished recording this evening. I'm so excited, and I will naturally text you guys my opinions and all of that.
Okay, so yeah, like I know I changed my rating from a 7.5 to an 8, and my original rating was a 7.5 because I was trying to find that balance because I think the movie is objectively an 8. I think I'm just an asshole for not liking it, quite frankly. It is good. It is objectively good. It just didn't hit me the way I was hoping. I kind of has a lot of tonal whiplash, but subjectively it was like a 7 out of 10 for me, so that's why I said it was 7.5, but I do think it deserves an 8, honestly.
That's fair.
Just because there is a lot that it does right. I mean, the gore is fucking fantastic in that movie.
Nick, what would
you can't contest that, Nick. The gore.
Oh, the gore was on point.
Nick,
especially the fork scene was.
Oh my god!
I can't wait. I'm so hyped. Nick, what would you give it as a rating?
8.5.
8.5.
Oh, see, that's even higher than me, anyway. So.
Well, we're talking to Mr. 10 out of 10 over here, okay? Like 8.5.
Yeah,
that might
but
as well be a
he just
6.
gave something a 6.5. Like
I know.
I haven't watched Together yet. I'm gonna get your opinions, both of your opinions on that after I've seen it.
Okay.
I'm gonna because I know you've both seen it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like I don't know why yet I haven't like Superman is on HBO and I still haven't watched that, but I've been meaning to. I've got a few. One of these coming up soon. I'm just gonna have like a movie day. I'm just gonna sit down and binge some shit.
Oh, I can't wait for you to watch Superman. I cannot wait. This is.
I will say, I've not finished it, but I have started it, and I used to be one of the biggest Superman haters.
Oh, dude, same.
Dude,
James Gunn is a wizard.
Yes.
Wizard.
Yes. Like I want to. I think.
I literally.
On my next day off, I'm going to finish watching Superman.
You're gonna see why I gave it such a high rating.
Oh, dude, I know.
I bought the popcorn bucket. That's the only Superman thing I've ever owned in my life.
Fair enough.
And I even when I was at Comic-Con, like they had because the popcorn bucket is like a newspaper stand thing that like you put like 25 cents into and you like pull out a newspaper out of it. But it's the Daily Planet, and the original one has an insert that on one side is Superman, on the other side is Crypto. But they had a Comic-Con exclusive, which was the exact same popcorn bucket, but the insert was stylized as a comic book as opposed to like actual physical photos of Crypto and Superman. And whenever I was in line, I was like, "Hey, out of curiosity, like I already bought mine like on opening weekend. Is there any way I could have like an insert?" And they were like, "You got proof that you own it?" And I literally pulled up like a photo of me holding it while we were at AMC, and they were like, "Get this guy an insert right now." And I was like, "I'm an AMC member. Help a homie out." Like, dude, I love the AMC homies. But no, I'm excited. I'm excited for both of y'all to see it and give me y'all's thoughts because it's so good. Oh, it's so good. I saw it in theaters 5 times. It was so good. Okay, sorry, I'm done.
No, you're good. Before we move on, Nick, is there anything else from you for your recents? I know you saw a couple of movies, but any...
Yeah, let's say... So, last night, Willow, every Friday, like, as is every Friday night, Willow stays the night at Sarah's mom's house, so Sarah and I can have date night. We went out and for a bike ride, the two of us last night for just a little bit. Yeah,
I love that.
Oh, nice. I didn't know she knew how to ride.
Yeah, no, we just she's had her bike, but
I
hasn't.
mean, hold on, I might have misheard you. You and Sarah went bike riding,
Yes,
right? Not.
me and Sarah went bike riding.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought you said you and Willow went for a bike ride,
Oh
and I was like, I didn't know she
no,
knew
no,
how.
no, 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 no,
I messed that up.
I was
no.
gonna say that felt like a weirdly out of pocket thing where you're like, I didn't realize this grown adult didn't know how to ride a car, knew how to ride a bike. I'm like, what a odd thing to say, Justin.
No, I misheard him. That's what happened. That was my oopsie doodle.
Oopsie doodle. Yeah, no, we went out on a bike ride just around the neighborhood. Um, and then when we got back, um, we turned on. What was this? Yeah, when we got back, we turned on season 3 of the Netflix show Monster, and watched the first 2 episodes of the Ed Gein story. This dude is so fucked. Like,
Oh yeah, dude.
it's the first episode. Like, the first episode alone was cringy. Episode 2 up the ante a little bit. Like, it's only gonna get worse because this is the body snatcher of La Crosse, Wisconsin, or Plainsville, Wisconsin. He's his story has been like loosely based on has been loosely adapted into movies like Psycho, Texas Chainsaw. Like, this dude inspired fictional, non-fictional serial killers.
No, you were right the first time. Fictional means fake.
Yeah, fictional serial killers.
Oh, I believe it. You know, considering, I have to wonder, considering that Charlie Hunnam of Sons of Anarchy fame is playing the killer in this, how long before the memes that are all like, Ed Gein's got those gains, you know what I'm saying? Like,
dude, right?
I'm just saying,
He's a big dude.
You saw the way people thirsted over his, well, who was it, Zac Efron when he played Ted Bundy or some shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
mhm.
man, dude. Oh, dude. So you want to hear some shit? So Thursday night, someone decided to set fire to our Walmart.
Oh,
Got charged.
Hell yeah! Viva la revolution!
Got charged. Got charged with.
Take that, Walmart family.
Got charged with first-degree arson. He set fire to the family bathroom and towards the back of the store, and
it was this past Thursday, or
yeah,
the one before?
this past Thursday.
So October 2nd. Damn it!
Yeah.
That I can't do a rhyme. I was gonna be like, remember the 25th of September. Like,
No.
fuck,
Oh,
October doesn't rhyme.
Nope. Dude.
This guy got a GoFundMe?
No, he got locked up. His mugshot looks unhinged
Man.
as fuck.
I don't know. Stop, drop, and roll over. Set fire in October. I don't know.
But no, yeah, no. Our Walmart is closed until further notice. They gotta gut the store, get rid of all the merchandise because all the water damage and the smoke contamination. They gotta reorder everything, restock, and re-merchandise the entire store. It's nuts.
Yeah. I bet the employees heard the place was going to be closed and be like, yay, vacation. Be like, no, y'all got to be in here scooping water like FEMA employees. Like,
I love late-stage capitalism.
You know what? I'm going to oust myself here. I'm glad I left Walmart when I did. Because I just got a really big, life-changing opportunity at work on Thursday. And it won't take effect until November 1st. But I am being moved from the assistant position down up to a regular, which comes with a pay increase of a $7 bump.
Hell yeah!
I will be going full career, and I will be able to start saving towards my retirement.
That's awesome, man. Really happy for you.
I'm. When I got that news, I expected it to be sooner, but that just set myself up for disappointment. I will say, I have busted my ass. And while I didn't get the bid that I wanted, I still got something. And I have that to be grateful for, because the company that I work for is it's gotten a lot of it has a lot of living proof of like successful retirement stories.
Oh, that's awesome. I think a congratulations are in order.
Oh yeah, dude. Seriously,
I guess
so happy for you.
I can put some words out there.
It was definitely a good feeling. I got so excited when I walked into the manager's office. I did a little jig. I'm like, am I being converted? And I did a little dance, and it was all exciting.
He's like that episode of Rick and Morty where Jerry's in the simulation and they really like his apples idea and he's like over the moon about it.
Dude, like
that's what I thought of when you said you did a little jig.
Hockey season is upon us. 1 week from today is the home opener. Yes, that's 1 week from today is the home opener for the Iowa Wild, and I could not be more excited because the very next night on Sunday the 12th, they will be playing my hometown team, the Rockford Ice Hogs. And I get to go and wear my Ice Hogs hoodie that Sarah got for my birthday this year, and watch the mascot get frustrated because I'm gonna wear my season ticket holder custom jersey for being a season ticket holder on opening night, but wear an Ice Hogs hoodie the very next night. The mascot lost his mind. Last time I wore anything other than Wild gear. Last season. Oh my god!
Might as well wear a Target.
It was funny.
Target painted to your back.
It was.
You're gonna get jumped in the alley by a mascot.
I'm not the only one.
No, It's gonna happen because you know what? Because you know what? If you're really gonna commit to this cartoon character bit, then you're gonna get jumped in the alley by
You
a
know, it's
mascot.
okay.
It's gonna
It's
happen.
funny.
Like,
It's funny because I was this was during last season. Last season, I'm walking the concourse. I'm wearing my Chicago Blackhawks Patrick Kane jersey, and Crash, the mascot for the Iowa Wild, I'm walking the concourse. He stops me and tilts his head, cocks his waist to the side with both hands on his hips, just staring at me. And some dude with his kid walks behind us and he says, "Hey, nice jersey." And Crash just throws his hands up, and it's just one of those cartoon moments that you had to be there for it to
I
be
love
fun.
it.
It was hilarious.
Sibling,
It was great.
good old fashioned tribalism. Gotta love it.
It was great. And I'm not the only Blackhawks fan that attends the games regularly. There's others that are from Illinois that support the Chicago team as well, or the Rockford team as well.
Oh, I'm sure. I believe it. Diehard fans will follow their team
Hell
anywhere.
yeah. Hell yeah, dude! I grew up going to the Ice Hogs games. There's no way I'm not going to fly their colors when they're in town.
So,
Oh yeah.
we need to move on, but I do want to say, for those who might be wondering, who are listening, how Nick's drastic life changes will affect the show, for you, not at all. It won't matter to you, the listeners. Nothing will change as far as you're concerned. For us, though, it means our recording day changes. But as far as when the episodes come out, no difference there. Just expect it within a week of recording, like always. Whenever I fucking feel like it, basically.
Yep.
You know, I tried to keep up a schedule with it before. Holy horseshit! That was sometimes editing this is more more work than you think. But anyways, really quickly, Brooksy, you have more of an insight on this than anyone else. So tell us about what the hell just happened recently with EA and the people who bought them out, and what it means for the future.
Oh. So yeah, so EA is a company that I have a real rough relationship with, because I look at them and I'm like, I mean, these are the people that brought me NCAA when I was in high school, and like I played the ever living crap out of games like that. More notably recently, like they're the people that bring us things like, Jedi Survivor, and help publishing smaller companies that help bring things like Hazelight Studios to light, and brought us A Way Out and It Takes Two and Split Fiction. So EA has been a publicly traded company for some time now, and with it being publicly traded, because that's not a normal thing for a lot of studios, it means that you have to not only worry about like the C-level executives, like your CEO, COO, CFO, all of that stuff, but you also have to pay attention to your shareholders as well. And so because of that, that's why we've seen a really big decline over the past several years with EA Games, and EA being just the literal worst when it comes to things like microtransactions, sending out games that are not complete, and then just adding DLC and charging $20 a pop for the DLC, so you can actually play the entire full game. Because it helps generate profit, it helps generate revenue, and when you hear of a company getting acquired privately, normally I look at that as a good thing. I look at that as like, oh, this is someone that's really passionate about what this company does. But I can't say that. I can't say that for EA, man. I cannot say that at all. It is one of the largest private acquisitions of a publicly traded company in U.S. history at a total whopping, brace your butthole, $55
Jesus
billion
Christ.
dollars is what what EA was purchased for. Um, $55 billion. Dollars. It was done through three private equity firms, and private equity firms are going to be the death of us all in this late stage capitalistic society that we're all stuck in. But it's split up between three different groups. Two that are quite notable. One of them is owned by Saudi Arabia, and is kind of championed and pioneered behind the Prince of Saudi Arabia, who is not the nicest individual on the planet. And secondly, the other firm is owned by Jared Kushner, which, if that name sounds familiar, that is Donald
Mhm.
Trump's son-in-law. Um, and they have already made several statements letting the world know, like, hey, there's going to be some serious rollbacks on staffing. They're going to be really heavily utilizing AI, and which is, using AI as a tool for like small little things in gaming. I totally understand, or to be able to help better buff NPC intelligence. Like, I get things like that. That's not how they're going to be looking at it. They're going to be trying to recover their loss, because $55 billion dollars is not a small amount of money. They have to pay out essentially anyone that owns shares in EA right now. Um, and so they're going to try to pump out as much, candidly, garbage as fast as humanly possible. They are going to be looking at what sells. And what sells for EA are games like FIFA, or whatever it's called nowadays, FC 26, because you've got, it's a $70 game, and there's season passes, and there's the loot boxes to get the characters that you want. I foresee a massive increase in pricing on their loot boxes, crappier pull rates on things, to really just try to essentially recover their losses. And I'm really worried about the lack of creativity that is going to come from this decision and from this move. Um, you know, I
Yeah.
I'm upset and I'm bummed. The what I was initially really scared about, man, is Hazelight Studios is one of my favorite companies as of late, with It Takes Two and Split Fiction. And what I've come to realize from kind of digging in, because I thought it was a small dev team that got acquired, but they've just been published by and have a contract with EA, basically they pay for like the marketing and to help their games become physical and get shipped to every single GameStop, Best Buy, Target, Walmart, this, that, and the other. They help with that aspect, and in return, EA gets like a cut of their revenue. And I like to think that Hazelight is, they've grown into their britches, so to speak, where they should be able, they won Game of the Year in 2021. Split Fiction has been critically acclaimed this year, and I love that game. And I think they may be able to stand on their own 2 feet at this point. But I don't know how long the contract is, and I don't know what's going to come of it. Minus the fact that I think that they're going to take this in such a negative aspect that when contracts with like with like the NFL, NHL, um, I don't know why I cannot remember the name for soccer, for FIFA. I genuinely think that when those contracts come up and the games degrade more than they already have been, I think they're going to look at other developing companies, and I really don't think EA is going to exist in 10 years, like just from this one move alone.
I think I think 2K is gonna take them over.
I think you're right. Honestly, 2K is a solid company, and like, dude, have you played a bad 2K basketball or any? No, dude, they're always fire. They're always good.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't remember.
the whole thing is giving let them let them eat cake. You know.
Yeah, you're not wrong, dude. It's but that's so like I've been following. There's two major stories, and I know we're gonna talk about the other one in a bit. There's two major stories I've been really following a lot, and it's EA and it's Xbox. Um, and it's just, man, it's just a dark and it's a scary time in gaming. Like things have been really rough. We're seeing $80 games. We're seeing all the stuff with Xbox, and like to see EA, who we've all really like, they've been notoriously known to be kind of a shit company these past like 10 years, with the exception of like any Jedi game that's come out, or you know, Split Fiction.
Yeah,
This is the first time.
as someone who genuinely enjoyed Dragon Age Veilguard, I have absolutely zero hopes for the final Mass Effect game after all this. And
Oh
yes,
yeah.
I said final because we all know it's the death of BioWare. It's
Oh yeah. That no BioWare. The best case scenario, literally the best case scenario, is that BioWare gets bought by a company that tends to give a shit. Like, if they got purchased by like, Alarian Studios, like that would be the literal dream, right? Um, if they got bought out by even like CD Projekt Red, even though Cyberpunk was such a blunder, like the comeback story and the amount of care they're putting into their shit since
I
their
have a
blunder.
better idea.
Um,
BioWare's staff should go work for Obsidian.
yeah, like
Obsidian
either
games
that or
are already half BioWare games anyways. So
yeah, either that or what like perfect dream scenario is they do what the team behind Expedition 33 did. Like Sandfall Interactive, they were all former Ubisoft people that were tired of the slop that Assassin's Creed had become, and they decided to create their own team. And dude, look at Expedition 33. Look at what they were capable of when they weren't under the thumb of shareholders and investors and executive suites.
speaking
Like,
of which,
dude,
because I want to end this section on a positive before we move on, but and I don't want to give EA any more attention than they actually deserve, but
yeah.
and thank you for explaining all that. Though I don't really have any other thoughts. I agree with everything you said, and you said it more eloquently than I possibly could have. You've got more of an insight on it with the research you've done. But I do want to say that Expedition 33 is up for 6 awards at the Golden Joysticks. So congratulations to them for that.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Deservingly so.
So, really quickly before we bitch about Xbox, I just want to say I haven't been doing a whole lot lately. I've been like mostly working on editing and trying to finish up recording Danganronpa 2 for the Let's Play stuff, focusing on that. And whatnot, but I have been putting in some time to. I think I'm like halfway through, if not a little less than that, for Mafia: The Old Country. And I think I finally realized what it is about this game that makes me really love it. So, it is very similar in a lot of ways to the Ezio era of Assassin's Creed. Not just because of the Italian, that's the fucking most basic ass comparison, but no, it's like the stealth, the linearity, it's the stealth, it's the presentation, it's the way that like 40% of the gameplay is you following someone somewhere, like I don't know. It's just something about it feels very similar, and that's why I like it. But especially the stealth, especially like how people you knock out or kill, you can like hide them in boxes and shit, which is really cool. I love that. So I think Mafia: The Old Country is a strong top 10 contender for me this year. Not gonna lie, like that's a good one. Silent Hill F, on the other hand, I don't know how I feel about this game so far. I'm kind of, God, the combat is so. I don't know. people were worried it would be like a Dark Souls game. It's not. It's janky ass Silent Hill combat like every other game in the series has had. The problem is that combat was never designed to carry a whole game because those other games eventually give you guns and shit. The melee combat was always like like a last resort, and here it's the main course, and it just doesn't work for me. At least not in the main world. In the other world where you get the knife, it's a little bit better there. But the shit with the pipe and all that stuff in the overworld, like, at least right now, like, well, I have two pipes and a sickle, like one of those like wheat cutting sickles, in my repertoire right now, and they all it's just so goddamn janky. But I do like that. I do like that if you play it on story mode, your faith and sanity, or not faith, your sanity and health replenish at the save points. So you can use the faith because, like, you'd find all these healing items laying about everywhere, right? But the thing is, the healing items can be used, can be traded in at these shrines for faith points. Some of them can, anyways, and those faith points can be exchanged for upgrades to your character, like your health meter, your sanity meter, your stamina bar, and also like like charms that you can equip that give you different advantages and stuff. I will say though, the one thing this game is not, as a like a Silent Hill fan and a fan of horror games, this game is not scary. It's not fucking scary in the slightest. It's way too action focused to be scary. There are some parts that are kind of creepy, like the scarecrow puzzle in the wheat field. That was kind of creepy, but like as far as like, I mean, I'm sprinting everywhere, so it's not really scary to me. The biggest threat is if you're playing the game on a higher difficulty and worrying about managing your health and dodging the enemy attacks. But for me, it's just the whole thing kind of falls flat on the horror side of things. But I'm also not that far in, so maybe it gets better with that. I heard that there's a level that takes place in a school, like there's a school level coming up, and you know how Japan horror is with schools, so that should be great.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping for something more there. The enemy designs are great. The enemy designs are scary, but the game itself does not have a creepy horror atmosphere. Not like Silent Hill 2 Remake did. That game was oppressive as fuck. Like, that game just bears down on you with its psychological torment. Whereas this game is more like a trot-a-lot-a-dee, ooh, scary doll thing. Whack, whack, trot-a-lot-a-dee. You know, that's all it is. Like, Nick, you could play this, quite honestly. Like, it's, yeah, so I don't know.
It was on my list.
Yeah, this is a horror game for people who like action. This is what it is. More than horror.
Fair enough.
It's a horror game for people who like watch a horror movie and say, just beat the fucking monster in the head with a pipe. Well, now you can do that. That's what that is, you know. That's what it is. You know, and that's crazy because Silent Hill 2 is scarier and you have guns in that game. It's all about the presentation. It's all about the atmosphere. And this game does not nail that part of it for me as far as horror goes. It's way too whimsical. You know.
Fair enough.
But I don't know. Maybe I'm being too harsh. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where it goes later on. I know you've barely touched it, Brooksy. So
yeah, I've got a whopping 30 minutes into it so far. I literally got my bonk stick and I've bonked like 3 enemies, and I kind of like, I love jank games. Like, again, KCD2 I've talked about incessantly, and it is like polished Skyrim jank. I I like the fighting mechanics so far. I haven't gotten very far into it. I like the setting. I haven't really grown any kind of attachment to anybody so far. I think that the enemies are they're creepy. They're sometimes comical, but like I don't know. I like a little humor in my horror games. So like, 30 minutes into it, I'm excited to see what else this game has to offer.
Let me just say too, by the way, I highly recommend people play this game in Japanese audio with English subtitles because the English dub, the lip sync is terrible for the English dub. Okay,
there is no lip sync. Like it is like a 90s kung fu movie.
Yes, it is. It is like a fucking PS2 era game in that regard. It is that being said, though, the voice acting is pretty good for most of the characters. Not all of them. Some of them are pretty fucking bad,
Yeah.
but most of them. The main protagonist is really good. She definitely has this weird, like, she just kind of like jumps into this and accepts it for what it is, where most characters would be freaking the fuck out, like most people would. And I just wonder if there's a reason for that I'm missing, or if I'm just thinking too hard about video game protagonists not acting realistically to this shit, you know. But she just takes it all in stride. She just picks up a pipe and she's like, well, I guess we're fucking doing this then. Like, you know. So, I don't know. Is it badass? Yes. But is it also completely nonsensical? Also, yes.
Hell yeah.
So, I guess we'll
Hell
see
yeah.
where that goes. But speaking of things that are completely nonsensical, I just finished earlier today season 13 of Futurama on Hulu, all 10 episodes. What a season. I feel like when the show first came back for season 11, the first season was just okay. It relied a little too much on doing too many pop culture references for every episode. Like, haha, we're on Hulu now and here's an episode about Hulu. You know, like that kind of shit. But season 12 got better about that. They managed to mix the pop culture shit in with good storytelling, like their Squid Game episode. And then they leaned away from that as the season went on, and they started doing more creative, original stories. So season 13 also has a healthy mix of both, but it's mostly just fun, original stories. And I will say, in my opinion, as far as the jokes go and the one-liners, this is the funniest season that they've done since they've been on Hulu.
Hell
so
yeah.
far. Like as far as genuine laughs out of me, like a lot of these adult cartoons don't get like an actual audible chuckle out of me anymore, but this show did. Like genuinely, like just the fucking absurdist anti-joke humor of characters like the professor and the absolute like dim-witted stupidity of characters like Fry. It's just, I'm surprised that like 13 seasons and this show is still making me genuinely laugh. Still like one of the actually funniest adult comedies out there. Like genuinely funny, not like forced funny.
Hell
You know.
yeah.
Yeah, and I'm really into season 13. They have some really good stuff, really creative stuff in there. Like the season finale deals with like the idea of a black hole, but like in reverse. It's a white hole and like it spits shit out instead of sucking it in, and there's like a time dilation thing. And they did a lot of great original stories. Like there's one where Bender becomes a truffle hunter and he befriends a little pig, and it's really cute. Like I like it. So it's a pretty solid season overall. I highly recommend it. Even if you haven't watched Futurama in a while, definitely give this season a watch. It starts off a little bit weak, but it gets better and better as it goes. The first episode is basically a Godzilla parody, but as the series goes, I will tell you, this might really grab your interest, Brooksy. They did a fucking Pizzagate episode in this season.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
Oh, love that.
It's great. Yeah, they did. It's absolutely hilarious. So definitely check out season 13 on Hulu. I would give the whole season an 8 out of 10, if I'm being honest.
Hell yeah.
So
That's awesome.
I don't have a whole lot going on, so I'm just gonna jump straight ahead away from that and just we're gonna cover the Xbox thing real quick, and then Brooksy, we're gonna hear from you, and then we'll end it. So the Xbox thing. Fucking Game Pass is they're copying PlayStation Plus's tier thing, but they're making it more expensive, and they've basically cut a lot of their things, and they're doing it now to where you have like 3 different options, and the middle option gives you access to their game catalog and stuff, but you have to wait like basically a whole year for the day one games before you can play them. They're now gatekeeping the day one games behind their $30 tier. Ultimate is going to go up from $20 to $30, and you have to have that for the day one games. And with that, in order to justify their pricing, they threw in a bunch of shit like Hogwarts Legacy and stuff, but they're also like trying to. They added Ubisoft Plus, and they're adding Fortnite Crew subscription to it as part of the whole thing.
Jeez.
Which I already have Ubisoft Plus. I already have Ubisoft's classics catalog through PlayStation Plus, and I only care about Fortnite every so often. It's not something I consistently jump into, so Fortnite Crew is useless to me for the most part. this just screams corporate greed to me. What they should have done is they should have still allowed you to get the day one games in the middle tier, the one that's like $15 a month, and then added all that extra horse shit to the more expensive one for the people that actually give a fuck about it as like a more premium thing. Because like, I mean, on the PlayStation side of things, I think they did it perfectly. You get the whole game catalog for the middle tier, but if you have the premium tier, then you also get old games and game trials, which is kind of like those feel more like add-ons, like garnishes, whereas the game catalog is already the main course. Whereas here, they're basically like in here for the middle tier, they're serving you the side dishes and locking the main course behind a higher tier, you know, and then and then with that main course, forcing a bunch of soups and salads you didn't fucking ask for with it, you know, like that's it sucks because I'm gonna have to keep it up. I don't have a choice. But yeah, Brooksy, you chose the wrong time to drop out of Game Pass. I tell you what, like this is a mess.
I don't know what you're talking about. I canceled I canceled my Game Pass 2-3 months ago just from personally boycotting Microsoft and anything Microsoft related. Like things that I absolutely have to, like using Teams for work and things like that. You know, there's nothing I can do about that because I have to work. But man, the more I've looked into it, the more like, dude, this has been kind of the long game for Microsoft and for Xbox specifically, because you got to look at, you know, they were like, the moment they started really pushing that everything is an Xbox, your phone, your toaster, your Game Boy, like your whatever it
even
is,
your
everything is an Xbox.
Your PlayStation is an Xbox now.
Your PlayStation and Xbox, like the moment they did that, I was like, dude, Xbox is about to go down a deep dark rabbit hole, and everyone loses but Microsoft.
You know, we just learned recently though why the real reason they did this is because they lost an ass load of money on last year's Call of Duty game because of Game Pass.
Well, so here's the thing: is did they lose an assload of money? Yes. Yes, they did. In retrospect to what you and I believe is an assload of money. But really, realistically, it is a literal drop in the bucket for Microsoft as a whole.
Yeah.
Do either of y'all know how much Microsoft is worth?
No.
Over $4 trillion.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
Yeah, God forbid their CEO have like 2 yachts instead of 7, right? Like, fuck.
Exactly. So, do you know how much of that is Xbox?
No.
Less than 8%.
Wow.
Jeez.
So here's what I genuinely think is going on. Like, you guys are familiar with, like, I know I talked about private equity firms earlier, but like the big wigs, like companies like BlackRock, Vanguard, like the $1 trillion companies that are literally just buying everything and then just literally just sitting on it and waiting for people to be desperate enough to buy it. Like looking at like BlackRock for like housing, where they'll buy an entire neighborhood where all the houses were like $200,000, and then they flip it and sell it for $700,000. Everyone's like, why would I buy that? But 5 to 10 years later, they'll buy them then because they have enough money and liquidity to be able to do that. I really think this is a huge test of the gaming industry. Like, I genuinely think that this is a huge test of the gaming industry, because what I genuinely think that Xbox is trying to head towards is to become the Netflix of gaming.
Yeah, they just want to be a streaming service. They just want to put Game Pass on everything, and they want to stop making consoles and just put Game Pass on everything.
Exactly. Like, and you can tell that because they're intentionally pricing out people out of their own consoles. They've raised the price on their consoles twice in 1 year. It is a 5-year-old piece of tech that you've increased twice. Once for tariffs, okay, And number two is realistically it was a fuck you tax. Like that realistically was just a straight up fuck you tax where the 2 terabyte Xbox Series X is now a whopping $800.
Jesus. Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, them increasing the price of Game Pass to $30 is to test how much gamers are really willing to take. Because you have to look at that. That is $360 a year to not own a game.
Yeah, long gone are the days of Xbox caving to backlash. I think this change is here to stay.
Yeah, and that's the thing is they are working incredibly hard to make sure that we don't own anything and that everything is through the cloud. And like if you look at the further details on the tiered system, it's not even just what is available to you or available to you immediately. It's also the quality. Because if you look, you only get 1080p out of the bottom and middle tier, but you get 1440 native through the ultimate.
Yeah.
So you're having to pay more to have the quality that you would just automatically get from a disc.
Yeah,
And
it's
that
so asinine.
and that's the thing is like how long is it going to be before you have to pay an extra
And
fee to have better frame
that
rates?
makes your Netflix
Like
comparison even more apt because it's like they're like you want 4K and ad free, $30 a month, bitch. Like that's
so
yeah.
and I'm glad that you brought up ad free because even a year ago Microsoft CFO was at a summit that was sponsored by Wells Fargo and was talking about how he envisions the future, including having a free or low-tiered system or low-tiered format that has ads in gaming. Where essentially, imagine
Ugh.
you're at home and you're playing Avowed, and every 2 hours you have to sit there and watch 15 minutes of commercials to be able to continue playing your game, and you're playing it on the lowest resolution with the worst frame rate. That is the future that Xbox is currently trying to do, and the reason why they're doing the $30 and so many people are canceling is because they can afford it. It's 8% of the entire company. So when they say that we're struggling, Xbox may be taking a bit of a hit, but Microsoft is doing just fine.
Yeah.
Microsoft is hitting record-breaking profits every year. So every time they say like, "Oh, we're not making as much money as we should be," like dude, you're $1 trillion company. Like, respectfully, fuck off.
Yeah.
Respectfully, fuck off. So, like, this is an incredibly slippery slope. I like. I really genuinely think that anyone that has the capabilities to, and like Justin, for like we play so many games because of the podcast and everything else. Like I get your circumstance and everything else. Like if I hadn't already canceled my Game Pass, I would have the moment this announcement had come out.
Oh no,
Nothing
I don't blame you.
nothing
I
is
don't
worth
blame
this.
you.
Like
If it wasn't for circumstances causing me to have to keep it, I probably would too. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, it is pretty upsetting. But the good news is you will be able to still get it for $28 from certain retailers. Like they're still going to be selling they're still going to be selling the cards for it for that.
yeah.
So that's
And
nice.
here's the kicker too, man. I don't know if you've seen like on a worldwide scale of everything. Um, because they know that Western audiences are going to react very negatively towards a price hike and are more inclined to protest, boycott, this, that, and the other to it. We actually got one of the more affordable hikes in price. If you look at places like Brazil, they literally doubled the price of Ultimate overnight. Overnight, they're
Yeah,
just like, oh,
that's
like in their currency, it was $60 a month. Now it's 120 overnight. Like just like here, fuck you. Um, and this just sets such a horrible precedence. Like now, the fortunate thing, now this is partially because I'm also a PlayStation fanboy. For the most part, Xbox exclusive games kind of suck. Kind of suck. Like I don't want to say suck, but they're not as good as PlayStation. So if PlayStation had done something like this, it would horrify me. But the thing is if this takes off, who is to say that Nintendo won't and that PlayStation won't? Because you got to look at Nintendo,
Yeah.
who dropped the $80 price tag on Mario Kart World, and then a month later we hear Outer Worlds 2 is going to be $80. And although yes, they did backtrack on that and they have changed the price, a month ago they had a conference and they've already said that games are going to be $80 in 2026. But because it wasn't during the Nintendo craze, a lot of people just didn't see that aspect. And so I didn't think I was going to hate any company more than Nintendo this year. I think everyone's heard me say how much I am a Nintendo hater in 2025. But this move made me really spend some time really looking and reflecting on Xbox's history as a whole and where they've been going to, and they are trying to make sure that it is all for them and none for us. We get to play what they choose, and we don't get to choose when unless we pay through the nose, and we don't even get to own them.
Yeah.
And I don't jive with that.
Yeah.
So I apologize for the kind of heavier tone on
No,
that, but
you're
this
good.
is like
Oh no,
we've
you're good.
we've watched it we've watched it happen in media, dude. Think about like what
Oh yeah.
watching movies and TV shows was like 15 years ago. We all had DVDs, Blu-rays, we had cable, and it was like a little expensive, but now it was relatively affordable. And then we had something like Netflix that came out of nowhere, and all of a sudden was available for the very first time digitally through, yeah, you guessed it, the Xbox 360. When I say this has been a long time coming, put on your tinfoil hats, homies. This has been in the making for a very long time, in my opinion. And
Oh yeah,
they had
the
Netflix
audience
that,
prolonged it when they tried to do it with the Xbox One, with all the pushback. But eventually they said we're gonna do it anyway.
yeah, and so like, but that's the thing is you got to think Netflix 20 years ago, 15 years ago, it was like what, $10 a month, and you had literally everything. You had everything. They Trojan horse you in by giving you an incredibly low rate, which is what we've all championed around Game Pass for the longest time. Of like, it is such a good bang for your buck when it was originally what, like $14 and then $16 and now $20 and now $30. It used to be the best deal around, and now it's like for the average gamer beats 2 games a year. So for $360, like, dude, it makes sense for the average gamer to just outright buy the
I
games.
just love
And
how
that's why
love how ironic it is that it's $360 for a year. Like
I know, yeah,
it's
I know. Like it's but that's the thing is like again, like think about how Netflix came around, all of a sudden it was so cheap to be able to watch kind of whatever you wanted through Netflix, and then Hulu came around and it really opened things up. But now you look around and you've got Netflix, you've got Hulu, you've got Crunchyroll, you've got Disney Plus, you've got Peacock, you've got Paramount, and when you have all of those subscriptions, it's honestly infinitely more expensive than when you had cable and you were buying Blu-rays, DVDs, VHS, whatever time period you want to look at. And I really think that this could set a tone where we're going to end up paying more for games than we ever have and not even get to own them. If this ends up being successful and this ends up staying, people end up staying. Now, fortunately, I'm so happy to see that so many people had canceled their Game Pass so fast it ended up crashing Xbox's website.
yeah.
That brings me a great amount of joy to see something like that. But it needs to be able to keep on going, and it needs that, like, the only way to have companies actually listen, the only thing that they resonate with is money. And if they don't get their money, they're not happy. And they're gonna do what they can to be able to make us happy. But if we stay complacent, they're gonna let this happen, and we're gonna live in a world of streaming services, but for video games.
Hell
I
no.
don't know about y'all. I don't want to live in that world. I don't. I have no interest in that shit. Like,
I just want to say you're not leaving yourself much time for what you're up to, are you? Like
no. This was so much more important for me.
because We will wrap up soon, but I do want to ask Nick real quick because Sarah is the Game Pass subscriber in your house. How did she react to that news?
I she didn't really vocalize it to me.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I just didn't know if she had an opinion on it or not. I just remember her saying she was going to stock up on the physical cards.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, all right. Well, last thing then, Brooksy, what have you been up to lately, real quick, before we close out?
Yeah, no, I'll keep it short. I mean, like in the past 2 weeks, I would really say the biggest thing is I actually took a small little vacation, um, and I took a vacation to the beautiful, magnificent, wondrous state of Mississippi. um, my dad's a big Ole Miss fan. Ole Miss being the University of Mississippi, loves he got his MBA from them, and all of his buddies went to school there. And he's a big football person, and used to be really big into football, less so these days, but still enjoy a good college game. He got tickets for us to go see Ole Miss play against LSU, which both teams were undefeated. Ole Miss was ranked 13. LSU was ranked number 4, and Ole Miss beat them, which was awesome. It was like the most quintessential Southern experience humanly possible, because it was, it was waking up at 6 in the morning and getting dressed and heading down to campus, which is called the Grove at Ole Miss, and finishing setting up the tailgating tents, because tailgating for college football is taken so seriously in the South, especially Deep Delta. Um, and like I'm talking about like 8 massive tents that were all made into like a little compound, a little commune, if you will. Um, Bunch of alcohol. I literally started my day with a glass of bourbon at like 7 o'clock in the morning. I hung out with my dad's buddies all day. I was probably the drunkest I've been in like 6 years. It was awesome. Um, and like I ate some muffaletta sandwiches. I gave shit to LSU fans. My dad had gotten us like amazing seats that were like right in front of where the players run out of the locker room out onto the field. So that was like really 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 cool to be able to watch. And then after the game was over, we broke all the crap down, and uh, what is it? My dad's buddy Aaron, his wife was like kind of helping people get to campus and like picking people up and dropping them off. So there was two little cars for too many people at the end of the night. So my dad and I ended up taking the seat in the bed of the pickup truck and took the back roads to avoid traffic. And man, let me tell you, there is no true quintessential way of being in the South than celebrating winning your college football game, hammered drunk in the bed of a pickup truck in the Mississippi back roads. Like, dude, ah, it was so much fun. Waking up the next morning, hungover, eating a Oxford, Mississippi delicacy known as chicken on a stick, and it's literally just like it's giant fried chicken chunks on a stick. That is only served at 3 gas stations in all of Oxford, Mississippi, and all of Mississippi in general. But like getting a Mountain Dew at 7 in the morning and
Hell
eating chicken
yeah.
on a stick, like dude, best hangover cure ever. Dude, it was awesome. Like I had a great time with that. Gaming wise, like yeah, I have Silent Hill F. I've made it 30 minutes into it. It's a game that Sam and I are playing together, and by that I mean I'm playing and Sam's hanging out and watching and giving commentary. We just haven't had a whole lot of time together to work on that. But the other game that was graciously recommended by our hostess with the mostest, Justin, is Chronos: The New Dawn. I am, I believe, about somewhere around like 85 to 90% done with the game. Um, it rips. It's really good. Like I was surprised at how much I was surprised at how much I enjoyed this game because I'm like when I first looked at it, it was like it feels very sci-fi-y, and I didn't really look at the story or anything like that. And like I love Dead Space, but like I'm so picky choosy on my sci-fi games, and it's
I
really not sci-fi
I,
at
I,
all.
I, I knew I knew your masochist ass would enjoy this punishing game. Like I just
It is.
like I said in the last episode, I'm a Bloober Team fan, but I'm disappointed as hell that it's as hard as it is because it might be the one game of theirs I never actually finish. So I was like, I need Brooksy to play this then, so I can live it vicariously through him.
Yeah,
As
dude,
long as one of us did, it still counts. I think.
and I will say, like, I will say the first half of the game, like, there were like one or two moments that I was like, this is like, a little challenging. And it's more so like it's a lot of management of your inventory and a lot of like using your surroundings or lining things up right. Like, because you are given not enough bullets for the amount of enemies that you come across. Like, so if you miss a shot, dude, that sucks. That sucks so hard. You're like, oh no, that was such a waste. Um, it's almost like playing. It's like almost like playing like The Last of Us on not Grounded, but like right before that, where it's like there's so little resources that you have to really pay attention to what you're utilizing. Um, but it's like you gotta like if you like kind of like have like whatever creature is following you, if you have multiples, like kind of like almost make like a Congo line where like they're like following you around in a circle, so that way you can line them up perfectly, and if you do a charge shot at them, it'll go through the first person and the second person and hit the third person as well. So it's like 3 hits for one bullet. So it's like doing that or like seeing if there's like a gas can or like an
Yeah,
oxygen
explodey
tank that you
barrel.
can fire. Yeah, explodey barrel like it's but I will say that the story is what's really like grasping me through this game. Like dude, I think the story is so cool and it's really unique like you're like I think like an hour into it, and like the story starts to open up like five like 5 hours into it, and then 10 hours it starts really opening up,
What
and like
is
again,
the story exactly? Give me a spoiler-free synopsis of what exactly is the like.
so So you are a character known as the Traveler. Thus far, and again, I'm near the end of the game. Whether or not our character is human or not is still to be decided. But it's a humanoid figure that has a giant orb on their head, and essentially what they are doing is they are trying to recover humanity from a outbreak that occurred where there are now creatures that like are very like monster zombie kind of esque and you're literally following former travelers that have died. It's almost like Expedition 33, but instead of for those who came after us, it is such as our calling is the phrase that they use instead. And
There's
you're
some time travel tomfoolery in here too, right?
there's time travel tomfoolery because all of the outbreak originally happened in like the 1980s, and I believe Poland. Um, it happened in the 1980s in Poland, and there are certain moments where you do a little bit of time travel here and there, and you're essentially trying to unearth what happened that caused this outbreak, what started the whole thing, and how to be able to reverse it. And you do that through the history of different individuals throughout the game, and the way that they integrate that, I think, is really cool and really interesting. And when you get later into the game, these connections that you have with these individuals start directly affecting your the protagonist in the game in really cool ways that I personally think are spoilery.
Right.
But would I say that this is a scary game? Not really. I would say that there's some tension here and there, and they've gotten me a handful of times on like jump scares, and it's because like I'll start feeling a little too comfortable at certain moments. So instead of like just walking and looking at everything, I'll be like, oh, I just need to go around this corner, and I'll start sprinting, and then all of a sudden a creature will like bust wide open a door and hit me, and I'm like, oh no, ew. But no, man, I think it's awesome. I like as it currently stands, like I don't want to give it a official rating. I think I'm sitting at like an 8.5 on it.
I mean, that's high
I thought it
praise.
was.
That sounds like it's going to be in your top 10 list this year.
I think I honestly like as it currently stands, I think it is going to be in my top 10 list for this year. Um, it depends. It really, I think what really depends on this is how this game's ending lands. How does it stick the landing?
I
Because
think,
as of
well,
right now, like
you're going to. I'm pretty sure the game has several different endings, so that's kind of based on how you played it, more or less.
yeah,
I
no, and it's
and
I know
if you
how
don't like the ending you got, just go on YouTube and look up the other ones.
Yeah, and I will say, like, I know how you get the different endings in this game, just because I looked at the trophies for it, just because, like, there's a lot of trophies in this game, and a lot of them are really obtainable. And I was just like, what are, like, do I have to do multiple playthroughs to, like, plat this game? And you do, at least 2 playthroughs, the second one being New Game Plus. Um, and like as soon as they were like, "Oh, it's this ending, it's this ending, it's this ending," as I started progressing through, I'm like, "Oh, I know how I would get that ending. I know how I would get that ending. I know how I'd get that ending." So I think I don't know. I'm curious to see how it ends. I think I know which choice I want to make already, just based off of context so far. But dude, I will say the third act of this game. Oh, it's rough. Like I did record just an interaction that I had of like me versus some enemies when it gets like really intense towards the end of the game. Justin, if you want me to send it to you to see like what it starts looking like when you're like over halfway through the game, dude, it gets intense and it's fun. I am really enjoying this game.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Fair.
but that's really it. Like that's been kind of like the 2 main things. I've been playing this game and it's sick. I've been in split fiction with you, Justin,
Yep.
and that's been a lot of fun. And I went to the most bumfuck part of the United States and I had a blast doing it.
Well, that to me then sounds like the signal to give this the old wrapperoo. Uh, so that's what we're gonna do.
Yes.
Before we, I just one last shout out for Gracious Rhino. Check him out on YouTube. He does the series called "Do I Have Time for This," where he not only reviews the game that he's talking about, but also kind of gives you a general idea of whether or not you would actually have the time to finish it. Like, you know. It's a great series for people who have limited time to play things. It's very informative. So check him out. He's got that. He's got some hot take videos too. He did one for GTA 6 that got a lot of views, and I think his videos are pretty underrated. He deserves more attention. So check him out.
Okay.
But anyways, that'll be it for this episode. Let us know your thoughts on all these hot topics and whatnot that we covered in the comments down below if you're on YouTube, and smash that like button if you enjoyed. You can also comment on Spotify, rate on Apple Podcasts, bada bing, bada boom, yada yada, so on and so forth. Or you can email me at podcastoversoul@gmail.com. I'm also on Twitter, Oversoul53. You can find Nick at all the places at The Gaming Fiend 1. And Brooksy's on Instagram at Brooksy My Boy, with an I, not a Y. So, yes. That'll be it for this episode. Thank you all so much for listening, and we'll catch you in the next one. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Later.